Probably just bring 2 in for each. Okay.
I see a live stream.
That's good. Is there people in it?
Yes, now there is. Hang on a second. Let me see if we have audio. Yep, sounds like I have audio.
Good.
I hear you and me.
That's lovely.
Is that the way it's supposed to be?
Apparently. There we go. All right, let's.
Wow, we have a whole three watching.
Oh yeah. At least. All right. Gotta make sure my volume's turned down. All right. There's somebody that says we're live.
We're live. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. That's so funny. Thank you. Thank you. Is there nobody in the chat?
I don't see anything.
So it's just us watching. We might want to post the link a couple places.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay. They're probably like, oh, well, we'll just give it 15 minutes and then join.
They'll come in at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. We can only have 200 people in the chat, so I hope they don't all show up once.
It's all good. They can check the archives as well.
Yeah. Darin, are you to keep your P's and Q's and check when you're on the radio, or we're going to let some F-bombs fly?
Let's do what we got to do.
Let's see how the night goes.
I'm game.
Are you a drinking man?
You bet. But
Excellent.
not while I'm doing this.
That's probably a good idea. Doesn't I see you got a Bud Light there. What is that? Big.
You see me? What I have?
No, it's like a. What does that say?
It's a Clamato Bud Light Michelada.
That sounds disgusting.
It's amazing. Shut up. You know what you're talking about. It's 67 degrees outside, dude.
67.
I don't think it's that warm in Adam's house.
Wow.
Wow, that was a dig. Like I don't pay my bills or something.
This is the temperature is so annoying because it's like, do I turn the AC on? Is the heater supposed to be on? I don't know. Can't leave them both off.
That is weird. Where's our chatters? There's not even one. I'm a little worried. It's not us this time. I checked.
Maybe they're out Christmas shopping. That's where my wife is.
Oh, is it the holidays?
It's the winter slowdown.
Darin, you got all your Christmas shopping done?
I let my wife handle that.
Oh.
I like that.
That's a nice gig, if you can get it.
Yeah, but I get stuck with the returns.
Oh, that's not good. That's worse.
There's Aaron Sanders. You got 7 watching.
Oh, we're up to 8. Whoa. What's up, Aaron? Welcome. I'm just gonna pour this beer.
Ooh, I'm gonna tell you where Aaron is right now. I just added him to find my friends, so now I can stalk him.
Sweet.
Did you see the interview of the Google CEO?
No.
Where they were sitting there, the senators were asking him, can you know if I went to that side of the room and sat next to him?
Wow.
And then some guy asks this long question and goes, "So why does that show up on my granddaughter's iPhone?" And the CEO goes, "That's a different company, sir."
This is brought to you by Harness IPA, Ben Paddle, Minnesota's own.
Ben Paddle.
Bent Paddle.
Centered here again. All right. Looks like he's driving down the road and listening to us.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
All right.
We're like live on the radio and he's listening. Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually, I think.
I mean, if this is correct, I don't...
Well, I think we should hit the button.
Yeah, let's start this
Hopefully.
sucker.
Start this son of a gun.
Yeah.
All right,
Kick this pop stand.
here we go.
Live from KOYR Studios in Minneapolis, Minnesota, this is Arcade Radio. Intruder alert, intruder alert.
Hello and welcome to Season 3, Episode 5 of the Arcade Radio Podcast. Today is Thursday, December 13th, 2018, and the time is now approximately 7:21 p.m. Central. Thanks for joining us in the Arcadosphere. This is your host, Adam Stevens. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Mark, that time runner guy, Shields, and Brian Thurston Howell Armitage III. And tonight, the guest host of Arcade Radio is the digital proprietor of the one and only Phoenix Arcade, Darin Jacobs. Welcome aboard, sir.
Merry Christmas, fellas. How are you?
Merry Christmas. Cheers.
Yeah. Happy
Doing all
holidays.
right. So, we like to kick the show off with a little of what we've been working on. So, Mark, why don't you kick us off?
Let me tell you a story about a wife who finds something on Facebook Marketplace and sets the deal up and negotiates and chats with them. And then the next morning I wake up and she's like, "Hey, let's go. We got to get $100 in the trailer." And I'm like, "What? What's happening?" And so the net is that she found a Galaga cocktail in a Taito bootleg and we got it for $100.
Wow.
I know. I'm impressed. So I'm
Very nice.
doing a little restore on that. The Galaga works. It's not a bootleg. It's a real legit. And it's got a 13-inch monitor. Kind of fun. Let's see. And that's the end of that story. But also, it's been a busy week around here. I finally got my Joust 2 that I bought in Chicago. It was delivered at Fastenal. This is my first Fastenal experience. I was a Fastenal virgin until now.
And how was it?
Well, it was really big. The
Fastenal?
facility, I mean, yes. And, they brought it out with a forklift and they wanted to stick it on my trailer. And I'm like, no. I'm taking this off this pallet so I can get it home like a normal person. And so that was fun. It arrived and it's all in one piece. I cleaned it up and it's super awesome. I think I need to put a switcher converter in there.
Hey,
but,
I know a guy that can hook you up with a
Oh,
Williams power
yeah.
supply.
I heard about that.
He's just smiling.
I don't know that we've ever tested that in a Joust 2.
Well, it should work, right? Isn't it? Don't they have the same power supply?
It is the same power supply. I've just never tested one.
No, we should do that.
Okay.
I think Mark should send me the Joust 2 and
Oh,
I can
man.
confirm it.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
It just got here. Let's see. What else? I'm still babying this Battle Zone. I now have a rubber mat, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to take the thing that you stand on, whatever it is, the step. You gotta figure out to take that off and glue it down. A few other things. Let's see. Oh, God, I got so much stuff going on. I bought a compact flash hard drive replacement for an NFL Blitz I have in my garage.
Oh, cool.
I also got that for $100. That's back in those 5 games for 100 each situation from a few weeks ago.
This guy's way busier than I was.
Yeah. And so to wind up what the heck Mark Shields is doing, this weekend I'll be at the B52 Brewery in Conroe, Texas with my Knight Rider kit replica.
Oh, cool.
They're in Arcadiology. He's going to bring 10 arcade games.
Whoa.
Oh, man, that's like the exact sound. He's bringing 10 arcade games for the brewery. They're having a release of a series that they call Before the Internet. So come on down.
Come on down.
B52 Brewery.
Oh.
I won't buy you a free beer, but I may get one of my free beers and then give it to you. So.
Brian, what have you been working on?
We've got a couple projects going on. One of the things I'm actually working on is we picked up this really nice Tempest conversion to Major Havoc about 2 months ago. And I picked up some artwork from this shop a little out east of here for the side of a dedicated cabinet. So Darin, Phoenix Arcade, was nice enough to provide some amazing artwork for the side of that machine.
Amen.
Had that built up. And that project's coming along. We've also got pulled out a flash pinball today and trying to get that thing going. The thing's completely dead. And the final project is one that I didn't think was a project. I had this amazing Omega Race cockpit we picked up that worked great, worked in the shop, ran it for 3 days, got it back to the house, 30 minutes before the party, no more.
No!
So I pulled the board emergently out of my upright, took it down the hall, threw it in the cockpit, fired it up, and negative. So I have a really nice turned off Omega Race cockpit sitting in my basement right now where none of my tools are for fixing this stuff.
That's really sad.
I cried a little.
Sorry.
But you did have an awesome arcade party, so that was cool.
We did have a lot of fun, and everything except the Omega Race was working, which was nice. I was lucky I had a couple extra machines down the hall to substitute out the other stuff that kind of went down about an hour before. That's how it felt.
All right.
All right. Well, I'm kind of in a holding pattern with my journey. I got it back, the paint looks great. I solved my multi-asteroids problem, so that was an interesting fix. Turns out that at the factory, they put one of the, what do you call those guys, sockets in backwards.
Sprockets?
Yeah. And so the 4 little jumper pins that come off the vector daughter board on the kit were not lining up. And so I was getting an error. So I desoldered, flipped it around, plugged her back in, and boom, I can play Lunar Lander on my Asteroids Deluxe. I can play Asteroids on my Asteroids Deluxe. It's kind of fun. So, hey, Darin, what have you been working on?
Well, that's great to hear on the kit that you have, because I heard somebody was complaining that it was High Score Save's fault on that kit, and I'm glad it turned out to be a factory issue.
Oh, yeah, no, not
Correct?
not his fault at all. I did have a
'cause
little...
he's a great vendor. There's a lot of great vendors out there,
Yeah.
and a couple people were kind of blaming High Score Saves, and I felt bad for him.
Well, I was frustrated because he's in a move and I needed help, and he was really helpful the first day that I had issues. Sent me a replacement kit immediately, and I tried all kinds of stuff. I don't want to go through it right now, but
Right.
but he
Does
was
it involve changes of underwear? Or?
yeah. But I even after like a week, I was like, dude, could you please email me? But I had to kind of apologize because he's in a move right now. So, but
Yeah, I moved across the country twice, and that's not easy.
So you were saying what you were working on right now? We don't want to get into all of the things, but go ahead.
Yeah, I've got a fire escape that I picked up from Ryan Tilden.
Nice.
And as you guys know, that I just made the CPOs for that.
Beautiful.
So in the process of replacing that, actually, Greg Blom, who's going to do me a big solid and replace the CPO for me, because that's actually a big job. I've had 2 shoulder replacements. I don't have much of a grip right now and much strength, so he's going to do that for me and get it ready in time for my New Year's Eve party. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That's fantastic. So, and I got to make sure that I don't say the word fantastic like 10 times in a row.
Fantastic.
I said it like 100 times on the last episode.
Anytime, just say something else like giggity.
It's giggity. Yeah.
There you go.
So that's awesome. Cool. Well, we do have other segments of this show.
What?
We do.
We're not done? Oh.
Yeah. Apparently. We...
Evidently.
Evidently we do. So.
It's the Arcade News with Adam Stevens.
A little delay tonight.
There you go.
So, how Logan Arcade got its Misfits playing robot dogs. What the... Jesus.
Yes.
What the hell is that headline? I'm not even reading it. Mark, you take it.
Oh, okay, I'll tell you. New to Chicago's hyper niche scene. I love to say the word niche. How about you?
I hate it.
I'm
hoping this article ends soon.
What?
Go ahead.
Anyway, they have a robot punk band called The Biscuits.
Oh.
It's a Misfits cover act comprising 4 animatronic dogs named Glenn Dogzig, Jerry Boneley, Doyle Van Frankenbone, and Robo.
Okay, I'm a little lost in what we're even talking about here.
So Logan's Arcade is an awesome little arcade that's in I think north of Chicago.
Okay.
And Zespy, the proprietor there, is always swapping games in his huge collection, or as he calls them, hordes. And one of the things that he recently acquired, and I'm just going to kind of paraphrase what this article is about.
Yeah.
He got, and let me see if I can figure out what this is called. He got these animatronics called the Beagles. They were the canine 4-piece band that played in the side dining room of Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh.
So outside you'd have Rockafire Explosion, or at least when that was showbiz, and then that was in the main dining room. But in the little side private party room, they had the Beagles that played Beatles songs. So anyway, long story short, they spent the summer reworking them and restoring them. And now when you go into the Logan Arcade, you will be greeted by these 4 animatronics that cover Misfits songs. And they look like the Misfits. I mean, they're dogs.
That's actually kind of cool.
It is super cool. I think originally it was using reel-to-reel and some crazy stuff. But there's a framework that somebody's built for bringing these things back so that you can program new songs and do sorts of fun stuff like that.
It's crazy, man. Crazy.
Yes. It's great. If John ever publishes his video we recorded the week before Thanksgiving, you'll get to see it.
Oh. Is he into editing? Does he? And that's neither here nor here. Okay. All right. So,
one of the neat things about Logan's is they're really popular with the fighting game scene. They have a lot of candy cabs and a lot of stuff those guys go to. So when we're down in Chicago, the guys in our crew really love heading over there and checking that place out. It's a really neat place. Different flavor than Galloping Ghost, but some really nice stuff over there.
So how many games are over there? Like not 100, not 650, but...
I don't know how many actually, but he kind of focuses on an alternative scene to what you see at Galloping Ghost most of the time. Has some of the classics, but has a nice alternative selection as well.
Cool. Yeah, he even has a generic cabinet that looks purposefully like a conversion, and they convert it like every few weeks to something else. And they use a cheesy marquee and all this weird stuff.
Alternative might be an understatement when you have singing dogs.
Yes. Yes. And there's a full bar, so that's kind of fun too.
We like that. Bars are good.
Bar.
I like the bar.
Yes. You want to read the other thing, since it's sort of in your zone, I guess?
Yeah, so up here, we've got St. Paul Tap is opening an arcade bar. So the sorry. Mike Tupa came across a former tavern on the Avenue spot in St. Paul earlier this summer. Knew the large space would be perfect for a restaurant and arcade game bar, although I don't know what space is not perfect for that, because you shove a few games anywhere, as most collectors will prove.
Maybe that side of the, where it goes down into the Mississippi and it's really kind of like steep, that part.
Yeah, so he remodeled the space over the summer, gave it a rustic, cozy feel, and opened St. Paul Tap Sports Bar and Gaming Company at 825 Jefferson in St. Paul. So the remodels included an island bar, patio, 50 games, including some arcade games, table games, and pinball machines. So it's not his first. He owns 6 Wild Bill's sports saloons through Minnesota, North Dakota, Babe's Music Bar and Grill in Lakeville, and Smilin' Moose Lodge Bar and Grill in Hudson. So the St. Paul Tap has what Tupa calls a fun, playful menu, including customizable sandwiches and a variety of homemade pizzas. Bar also serves cocktails, local beer from breweries like St. Paul's, Lake Monster Brewing Co., and Minneapolis Indeed Brewing Company. While patrons wait for their food, they can play St. Paul Tap's dozens of games. Retro arcade tables like Miss Pac-Man, Mario Brothers, Frogger are there. You can also play on 9 pinball machines. Pinball machines in Minnesota have just become absolutely huge. They're everywhere here now.
I got that guy a good deal on a pinball machine last week.
What?
Which guy?
Oh.
I don't know any guy. You got
Yeah.
Some guy, I heard there was like a somebody whispered in somebody's ear. And
Yeah, I saw this little deal for a high speed for $500.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I didn't have any room for it, so I texted my good buddy Brian.
who happened to be sitting at a computer with the guy who got me into pinball 10 years ago, who was visiting from San Francisco just for the party, looked at the message and looks at his watch and goes, "We can get that and I can still make my plane." Reached in my back pocket and I had purchased some stuff earlier, had some money left over, and literally had 5 $100 bills left over from an earlier deal.
Wow.
Ooh.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. So what, I guess we have one more news article, huh?
Yeah, this last article kind of sucks, but if you want to read it.
All right, let's skip it. You know what?
Yeah,
We got
let's
plenty
skip
of other things to do right now.
Let's compress the show.
Right.
Yeah.
Back in '82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin quarter mile.
Back to the cave with Time Runner.
Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?
Hey, team, don't let those Libyans shoot you. Jump into the DeLorean. We're going back in time to December 13th, 1986. Gosh, I could never do the math. What is that? 32 years away?
Just use the calculator, man. Just do it.
32 years
Just
ago.
use the calculator.
What was going on then?
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, because I have like 4 things to talk about.
Sweet.
The first one's What?
I said sweet.
Sweet! When we both talk at the same time, it never
I know.
works.
Just sorry. Just
Damn it.
I'm very sorry right now.
It's okay. Namco released the side-scrolling arcade game Rolling Thunder this month in 1986. It was distributed outside of Japan by Atari Games.
Sorry.
Albatross? I didn't know that was his name. Did you know that?
No.
He's a member of the World Crime Police Organization's Rolling Thunder Espionage Unit. Now they just call it ICE. Albatross's mission... What? Albatross's mission is to save a missing female agent who's probably hot named Lila Blitz from a secret society named Geldra, located in...
Who's probably hot.
Anybody in here member of Geldra? Anybody? Anyone? No? No.
No.
So we had a YouTube video with the track sounds, but I'll do a little bit of it.
That's good.
Okay, thank you.
It's really good.
Thank you.
The best
I
ever.
like that game. Anybody in here like Rolling Thunder?
It's okay. I kind of found it boring. Darin, what do you think of Rolling Thunder?
Yeah, what do you think, Darin? Did we lose him?
I hope
Is he
not.
okay? Maybe he sneaked away. I think that it's like elevator action. Like you run inside the doors and come out and you can lean down and shoot. I mean, it's very elevator action, except for you're very big, and you can jump.
I'm worried that we lost Darin.
I didn't hear a disconnect. Do you see him still connected through whatever magic you're using?
Well, I had him on Hangouts.
I never saw him.
Oh, wait. I think I heard him.
Guys, Can you hear me, guys?
Hey, you're
there you
back.
go. Whew. Oh my God, we were a little.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. We were just asking you how much you loved Rolling Thunder.
I like Rolling Thunder. It's been a long time since I played one. Maybe it's time for a trip up north.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Fantastic. I said fantastic. I didn't mean to.
Oh, you did.
Damn it.
Giggity.
I'm gonna have to giggity. I'm gonna put a quarter in there every time I say fantastic.
So what else was going on December 13th, 1986? Well, Steve Martin's Three Amigos was pulling its own weight at the box office. Right behind the terrible turd movie, The Golden Child. Anybody like The Golden Child? I thought it sucked.
No.
No. Also notable awesome movies at the
Actually, I
box
kind of
office
liked
this
it.
weekend.
Sorry.
Crocodile, That's a Knife, Dundee. That's a knife. I said it wrong.
That's not a knife.
That's a knife.
That's
And
a
the very
knife.
last theatrical release of Song of the South. Can you even buy Song of the South anymore? There's like an entire ride at Disneyland called Splash Mountain that features characters from this. What is wrong with people?
I don't know. But that's
Song of the South.
yeah.
The commercial came on when I was seeing Star Trek, The Voyage Home, and all the Trekkies were there. And then when the song, they started singing Zippity Doo-Dah, the entire theater was singing Zippity Doo-Dah. It was very surreal. It was midnight or something. I don't remember exactly.
Man.
So what was on TV that same night? We're halfway there.
Really?
Yeah. Spencer for Hire.
Oh yeah. Spencer for Hire.
New episode called Shadow Sight, which I didn't even look up what it was about because I didn't care.
No.
But for the uninitiated, Spencer for Hire, he was a super cool private detective.
Darren,
Just like that.
did you watch
Just like
Spencer
that
for
Albatross
Hire?
guy.
Darren, did you watch Spencer for Hire?
Spencer for Hire, Darren. Was that?
I did not, but I guess what, guys? I did like Golden Child. Sorry.
I kind of chimed in there too. I kind of like that too.
Really, the best part of Golden Child is when he is, that gold thing that he goes, like he's, like it's
Yes.
a record that he's. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Kind
You
of,
don't know
yeah.
that part?
Sorry.
Okay, good.
That was probably the last movie Eddie Murphy did that was funny.
I think the Dr. Doolittles were okay.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't know whatever happened. He's become
Yeah,
very
you
eccentric.
got me on that one.
Let's see. What else was I going to say? Oh, Avery Brooks on the show, a.k.a. Captain Sisko of Deep Space Nine. He played Hawk,
Oh yeah.
which is probably one of the best sidekick names for any character in the 80s.
Yeah. Besides Kit.
Hawk.
Yeah.
Hawk, come over here.
Wasn't there a Hawk in like Buck Rogers?
That's a good question. I don't know. Well, you know what? I was always intrigued by those stupid little circular guys that would be carried around by the little tikis. Or
Oh
whatever
yeah,
they're
Dr. Theopolis.
called. Dr. Theopolis. Bitty, 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 bitty.
Well, that was Tweaky. And Tweaky carried Dr. Theopolis around.
Come on, Buck. All voiced by Mel Blanc.
Bitty, 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 bitty. Hey,
I said it with a
Buck.
French accent. That's the way you're supposed to say it.
Mel Blanc.
Blanc. You can tell I know French because I accidentally said Blanc. Hey, Adam.
What?
What's in the juke?
Hello and welcome to What's in the Juke.
This is our favorite
Yeah.
part.
It's my favorite. Yeah.
Wait. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Sweet. This is part of the show where we play little teeny tiny little pieces of 10 songs that were popular in December 1986, and then maybe people that are in the chat will figure it out, and then we'll give them prizes like scoring system. Do you have those ready?
Oh yeah, we have a we have a very well, we have these, right? So we go into this massive fight every time.
Right.
This might take a little longer. You had some weird songs in here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope that the second to last one wasn't weird.
Let's
that
try
one
it.
was.
All right, let's get this first clip on the road. All right.
You got it.
So let's see how this goes.
This one is weird.
Well, I don't know if it's weird. It's good.
It's not. It didn't. I don't think it made it up in the. You're not going to hear this in an '80s bar right anymore.
Well, I don't know. Really?
No.
Oh, I love this song.
Really?
Yeah.
Why don't you marry it?
Yeah, it's funny. I'm having some trouble with Amazon Music right now, so we're just gonna queue this up elsewhere. How's that?
I like that. I like that there is an elsewhere.
Well, I thought I was gonna be ahead of the game, but apparently not. So here we
Dave
go.
from Buffalo says Aaron Gray was awesome. It's funny how Dave from Buffalo sourced most of those. The game like that. What was the game that you just made the control panel overlay for, Darin? Firestorm.
It's really good.
Fire
Firescape.
escape.
Yes, that's it.
All right, here we go. First clip is.
It's actually the second clip, but okay.
It is? Oh, well,
That's okay.
they're out of order.
Oh, that's okay. You did it.
And
Well-
There we go.
word up.
Wow.
Done.
Wait a minute, we got a new guy. Who is that? Poseidon
Bison Bend?
Bend? Poseidon Bend? That sounds.
Nailed it.
Yeah, he's.
Congratulations, Poseidon Bend.
I,
Brett.
Brett.
Oh, hey, Brett. I was going to call you Dolly,
Welcome to the show.
but I guess I don't have to do that now. So.
You got a full point. You're in the lead. You know what you get as a result of winning this? A pat on the back and a hearty hi-ho.
Yeah, here at Arcade Radio, we like to, make sure you win lots of.
Make
lots
sure
of
you feel
prizes.
loved. What?
I'm having some trouble.
Need to have like Zarzadek record your outgoing message.
I think there's a Zarzadek incoming call.
There is
Actually, there
not.
were. Please stop sending me stuff.
Who?
I keep getting Amazon deliveries during the show. I'm like, I don't want to go outside to get whatever's in there. Actually, they put it in the mailbox, and the mailbox has a lock on it. So I didn't bring my key, so it's locked. It's locked.
It's interesting. I don't have this track, and neither does. Well, okay, all right. We're gonna do this one instead. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
The administration stresses that these forces are not in combat, but serving as military
Oh
advisors
Christ!
to the Army of the Republic of South Vietnam.
I mean, darn
No.
it!
In other news, President Johnson announced tonight in a televised
For crying out loud! How long does this take?
85 Americans have
I know what this is.
Oh my God! Okay, that's enough of that. I'm never playing that again. By the way, it's terrible cover.
That sounded very, very, not very loud. Very mute.
I can't do
Andy's
it.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got War. Who
Okay,
did
good job.
Who did it? Yep, by Bruce Springsteen. Hey, Brett. You're pointing up. I like this. It's like we got some serious fighting going on here. So that would put for Brett and a half point for Andy Baldwin. Is that about right?
That's right. Correct.
Sweet.
Sweet to Sonia.
A sweet to Sonia. I probably should just get that clip. What do you think? I mean,
Yeah, that'd be great if you could just have it
if I
ready
just
to be
have
played.
it ready, yeah. So part of the
Let's just have
problem.
all Barbarella clips next time.
Oh yeah, I like that idea. So here we go. Oh my God, there's a reason I don't have this song. There's a big reason I don't have this song.
Hey!
Oh my God. True Blue Madonna. Brett is killing everybody tonight. Darren, do you know who Brett is? We got this. He's new to the show. I love it.
Steinbend, maybe? Brett
I,
Steinbend?
no, actually, I do. It's a friend of mine on Facebook.
He's killing.
Somebody I went to school. Somebody I went to school with.
Usually Casey, and his wife Dolly kill at this every night, but this is fantastic. We got new blood. All right. So we got another song coming up. Now I skipped one. Oh, God. You just picked all the good ones, didn't you, Mark?
It doesn't really matter.
I
got something that this was close to another date we'd picked, so I had to these are the second place winners. Okay.
That's funny because I know this song and I have this song, but maybe I subconsciously blocked it out. Here you go.
Some people live their dreams.
I'm sure I danced at a thing where people dance. The rhythmic ceremonial ritual.
Brett's got it again. Toto. He's got that for a half point.
Half point.
And title's wrong. It's close.
Title close.
Yeah.
Andy nailed it.
Yep. Andy got it.
Half point.
Sweet. All right.
Waiting for Adam karaoke. What's in the juke?
What would we do for that? That sounds terrible. All right, here we go. Is that too quiet? It seems quiet. Good enough.
Casey's back.
Casey's in.
Oh, Boston Amanda. Boom. Man.
Full point.
Full point.
He's just trying to catch up now, isn't he? That was a man. Okay, says we've had "I'll Be Over You" by Toto. We've had "Word Up" by Cameo. We've had "War" by Bruce Springsteen.
Sort of.
Yeah, and "True Blue" by Madonna.
Yeah.
And we just did Amanda, right?
Yeah. By
Boston. Okay, so
Boston.
Boston.
Come on down.
Yeah. So that
We'll kick your ass.
Wicked.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a Wildlife. Talking Heads. That is correct. KC with a half point. Jeff Willard Jr. If you had just been a half second earlier, you would have got the whole thing. But you both get
half point.
So that's good.
Nice.
Right? And then we have
still in first.
who's in first?
Brett.
Brett's in first.
With 2.5.
2.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Andy
Right.
Baldwin and Casey are tied, and Jeff's pulling up the rear.
Kind of impressive with Casey. I mean, he's only been here for 2 songs?
Wow.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah, here we go.
He's like a machine. Whoa, yeah.
Everybody weighed in on that one. We got Casey with a half point and Andy with a half point. So good job, guys. It was good. You really battled it out there. So there's a lot of fighting here.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. This one's hard. This next one.
Is it?
Yeah. I think it
Well, because it's a sample, technically, I think.
Yeah. Plus, I don't have it in my collection.
How is that possible?
Well,
Dun, 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 dun.
are you just gonna do the?
No,
You're-
nobody will know that.
Okay. No, nobody will know that. So, this one is. But somebody asked what the year was. 1986. Okay.
Yes.
So, and so far, who's in the lead right now?
Brett's in the lead with 2.5.
don't know why I don't have this album, but
That's good.
You Be Illin'. Someone said too legit. That was Aaron. Jacob's 1966, dude. You get the whole point.
Whoa.
That'd be Darin.
Nice. That's pretty sweet. He kind of hears it before everybody else, though, doesn't he?
I don't care.
We just had a guest point up on the show.
Finally.
It's freaking awesome. All right, cool. And where we at now? We have how many songs left?
Two more to go.
Okay. Oh God, this is such a good song. I'm so glad you picked it.
Really?
Here's the terror.
Sarcastic bastard.
Oh boy. Is it this one? Yeah. Let's try that again. Ice Cube. Young DMC.
What did you think
Whoa.
I would do at this
Yeah,
moment when you're standing before me
No, Andy, that's not the band.
with tears in your eyes?
Get it?
We're gonna get banned for that one. It's close.
That was a long one. Yeah.
Yeah, you're close. You guys just need to look it up now.
Andy's got it.
Yeah, but
You did.
it's not correct. It's not
Yeah.
It's not Billy
It
and the
is.
Beaters.
Yeah.
Close enough.
All right, we'll give it to you. I'll give it to you right now.
There we go.
All right, full point. Okay, so what does the scores look like right now?
I'm going to give Casey a quarter of a point for that. Let's see. That means Andy's in first place with 3 points. And we've got Brett behind him, Casey, Darin, and Jeff.
All right, this is the last one, guys. I'm going to play one clip here.
For all the fame.
This one's worth 100 points.
Okay, here we go. That's it.
I love that song.
Oh, that was the giveaway.
All right, Casey, bam, both of them. That's full point. That was
Actually, he didn't get the name of the band, and then Brett jumped in last minute with the name and the band.
Oh my God. Well, see, we give partial credit though. So, what was wrong with Casey's answer?
It was good. Just half point.
Oh yeah, Timbuk 4 is not correct. Yeah.
But Brett gets that half point for Timbuk
All right.
3.
All right, here we go. Half point. What does the scores look like, gentlemen?
So this means Andy won.
Yeah.
Behind him was Casey with 2.75. Andy had 3 points.
Interesting.
Brett had 2.5 points. Darin 1.5 points, and Jeff coming up the rear with 0.5 points.
Huh.
Always coming up the rear, Jeff. Come on. Hey, do we have any phone calls?
Let me just check. You know,
If there's a phone call, play the most recent one, not the.
I'm just checking. It might be hard to hear tonight. I'm not really sure what's going on, but oh well, I'm in the wrong voicemail. That's part of the problem.
Oh yeah, not your porn voicemail. Go to the regular one. Dang it!
You know, oh yeah, oh, here we go. I do have a voicemail. It's about a minute long. Should I play it?
Well, you only have one of them?
Well, I got two.
Yeah, it's the most recent one.
Okay. Do you want me to play both of them or just one?
No, because they're the same. One's better.
Okay. Let's just see how this plays out here then.
I mean, according to other people that are not me.
According to Hoyle.
Sure.
All right. Let's see. Let's see here.
Thank you for calling 612-548-GAME. This is Arcade Radio. Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey everybody, it's your buddy, Bob Zarzadek, control panel expert and technician. Sorry I haven't called you guys in a while.
He's really quiet.
Job at a
Turn that up.
mall. You know, I'm playing Santa Claus for a few weeks, but it hasn't been super fun. You see, the mall management, they complain about my family dark beard, so I had to dye it pure white. I hate it. I keep getting ketchup caught up in it. People, they think I'm like a bloodthirsty zombie Santa Claus. It's not fun. I'm serious.
He dyed his beard white. That's
anyway,
weird.
That's what I'm up to. I'll be listening in tonight covertly with my AirPods. Hopefully Adam won't take 3 hours to figure out how to start the show this time. Well, that's all for now. Arcade Ratio Duders. Merry Christmas. Zarzadek out.
Merry Christmas to one and all.
Wow.
That's ours. He dyed his beard white?
Because I guess they didn't like his black beard.
That doesn't make
That's
any
fun.
sense.
And he's getting ketchup in it, and it looks like blood. I get it.
All right. Well, that's enough of that.
I'm rubbing my own beard now.
Please welcome to the show one more time, Mr. Darin Jacobs of Phoenix Arcade.
Hey guys.
Hey man. It's really good to have you on the show.
It's good to be on.
Welcome.
Mark, why don't you kick us off with a couple of questions for this illustrious guest?
Let me ask you, Darin, as a youth, what were the circumstances where you first became hooked on arcade games, if that even happened?
Well, what's a ute?
Ute. It's a ute.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I remember as a little kid, lots of arcades around, bowling alleys, roller rinks, fun centers. I think the first game that I really got hooked on was Captain Fantastic Pinball in '77. And I also remember Evel Knievel that year. After that, Playboy, Kiss, which I own the 2015 version of Kiss. I remember playing Meteor. I think that was '79. And then I was really hooked on Gorgar, the first talking pinball machine in '79.
I like Gorgar. I think that, well, what was the second talking pinball? Wasn't that like Alien Poker or something like that? Or is that a little while? Is that still a little whiles off? Nobody talks about
I'm not
the
sure. So, yeah, it really started in pinball. And then I started taking a bigger interest in arcades. And eventually I mixed them both together. I remember Boot Hill. This is late 70s, like 77. I remember Space Wars, Space Invaders, Fire Truck, Breakout, Atari Football, Atari Basketball.
Where were you in all that? I mean, what were your favorite arcades exactly?
Without question, it was Seawolf in the early days. And right before that, actually, Indy 800. My local arcade had an Indy 800, and I was hooked on that thing.
Oh, and really, that's what I mean. What was the name of that arcade? Was it like a chain?
It was actually a bowling alley. It was actually a bowling alley in Hammond, Indiana called Stardust One.
Awesome. Is it still around?
It actually closed a couple years ago. They actually have 3 Stardust. There's Stardust 1. The original one is closed. The Stardust 2 is in Maryville, Indiana. Stardust 3 is in Dyer, Indiana. And that's the one that I really grew up in the most. But Stardust 1 was open first. So I played a lot of games in that arcade. I think the arcade I played the most in was actually it's called Salzer's Kittyland in Cherville, Indiana. It was more of an amusement park with an arcade.
Oh man, I would have killed it. Did you get to ride your bike there, or what was your transportation?
No, it was on a major road, so you couldn't really ride your bike there. I mean, you could, but it really wasn't safe. But our parents would drop us off. And,
love it.
Yeah.
Babysat at the arcade.
That's really, there was a ton of electromechanical games. Besides having the Seawolf there, I remember, Shoot the Bear, Helicopter, Dive Bomber, the first pitch and bat game I ever played, and of course Skee Ball.
Wow.
Skee Ball. I love Skee
I
Ball.
love Skee Ball. I know. I feel like
I have a
people
Skee Ball.
Do you really?
Do you?
That's
I do have a
dedication.
Skee Ball.
That's Studley.
Okay, so maybe we should segue into describe your home arcade to us.
I think I've got maybe about 26 titles.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so they're more of players' games as opposed to, the guys with the big vector collections or, rare stuff, which I used to have, or just a whole lineup of Nintendo games side by side or Williams games. So I kind of have a good mix because I have 2 young kids.
Yeah.
And we entertain a lot, so I want to make sure I have players' games. And I think eventually when the kids get out of the house, I'll grab some more vectors and some of the more rare games that I like playing.
So how many decades does your collection span?
Well, the oldest game is Seawolf, which I mentioned is one of my favorite games. And ironically, 2 years ago, I bought a Seawolf 55, which was the latest version. They made a big monster deluxe version, so I have both of those in my house. Took about 6 guys to get that in my house, by the way. It's huge. And I think when I sell the house, it's staying like a pool table.
Just, you guys got to keep it, it's grandfathered in.
Exactly.
So, that's awesome. So, Seawolf, do you have any Rush games? Do you have any dartboards?
I've got 2 Rush. I've got 2 Rush 49 special editions. I've got 2 Hydro Thunders. I've got an ice cold beer. Of course, you guys know I make the glass for ice cold beer.
Yeah.
And since ironically, since the glass came out, the value of these have skyrocketed.
Yeah.
You used to be able to pick one of these up for about $750, $1,000. Now they're closer to $3,500.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I really want one. Thanks, Darin.
God! Making them
Look at the
nice.
Zeke's Peak because there's no parts for that yet.
There's one of those sitting that I looked at today, trying to talk the guy who has it into selling it to me, and he keeps telling me how many people want it. Try to convince him I'm the only important person that wants it, but to no avail.
No.
It's a good cause. You got to tell him, play it up.
I love Hydro Thunder, by the way. Damn the torpedoes.
That's a great game. Like I said, I have a pair of those.
Yep.
And I'm not so big on the H2O overdrives. I had a chance to get those at a fair price. I prefer Hydro Thunder. I really do.
It's really awesome.
Now the graphics are better on H2O overdrive, but I don't feel the gameplay is any better at all.
No. They did a good job making a sequel, whatever, But
well, we know sequels are hard in anything.
They are. So
I also have a Marble Madness.
Sweet.
As I mentioned, a Fire Escape. I have a Track and Field.
Can you tell me something about Fire Escape? I know that was there a cache of those games found somewhere? Somebody's been divvying them out. Am I just hearing urban legend? How'd you get your Fire Escape?
I missed out on one on the forums, and so I posted a wanted to buy, and Ryan Tilden contacted me, and he lives about an hour from me, so
wow,
I was kind enough to let me come over and pick it up, and he's a super great guy.
Sweet. So does your arcade collection in any way facilitate some of the artwork that's made? Do you get inspired by?
I also, like I said, I just have players games.
Okay.
The only one that I really show off is my Tron, and
cool.
I make all the pieces for Tron. That along with Food Fight are probably the 2 coolest looking games ever made as far as artwork, at least in my opinion. And
we had a local guy kill a Food Fight last week.
I think I'm going to get a cabinet.
And by the way, anybody out there, I'm looking for a Food Fight. If anybody out there,
really?
Yeah, What? Join the club.
Yeah. Me first. Me first. That's hilarious.
Wow.
So I also have a Silver Strike Bowling, which I actually bought brand new in the box.
Nice.
That's a great player's game because anybody can roll a trackball. So the little kids come over and play at 5 years old, and that kind of keeps them off the pinball machines from just banging on the flippers all day long.
Oh my God!
You mentioned,
what is up with that?
You mentioned Atari football. Do you have one of those?
Yeah, I had an Atari football, but I just, as I mentioned before, I had double shoulder replacement this year, and that takes an awful beating on your arms, your elbows, and your shoulders. So I sold that off, and I'm going to get rid of my Marble Madness too because that's just a lot of pain.
Oh, really?
If you're any good at it,
getting it out of there.
I'm driving out east sometime soon.
Oh my God, you guys are such vultures.
I don't mind bumpy roads in Indiana.
You're such vultures. Oh my God.
I don't get out much.
Oh, that's just terrible. Darin, don't listen to him.
I'm sure I have an arcade game with one button that would be it. You know, perfect for rehab.
Exactly. Incidentally, on the Marble Madness, I'm kind of working on a custom cardboard monitor surround for that right now.
Oh,
that's nice.
You know, it's just the glass bezels plain, there's no artwork, and the cardboard surround, there's no artwork. And I think I can come up with something that people might like. Working with 2 artists right now, and maybe we can come up with something that's not crazy expensive.
Now, Darin, I know you do, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's exclusive silk screening, right?
The majority of my products are screen printed.
Okay.
Not everything is, because not everything was made that way.
Right. So is this new bezel?
Yeah, for example, we're doing the timber marquee right now. That was not screen printed.
Right.
That was a pretty intricate process digitally, and so we're working on that right now. I have someone sent me 2 competitor samples out there, and I think they're poor enough that someone needs to do a proper one. I can tell you I'm not going to get it 100%, but it's going to be very nice. I would say we're at least 90% accurate.
Was the timber hand painted? Tell us what was special about that.
It was hand painted. At one time, I did the Fathom backlash for the Fathom pinball machine, which was hand painted, and that's when you do hand painted stuff. That's pretty tricky.
Yeah, I mean, there's one of the interesting things is this conversation about, do you make things look perfect? Do you make them look the way they used to? I mean, the timber kind of has a special feel because of that hand paint, and I know that some people have cleaned it up a lot. It just doesn't have that same kind of feel and the nostalgia if you know the original machine.
Yeah, we're not doing any cleaning up. We're trying to be as faithful to the original as we can, doing a reproduction.
That's awesome.
And I'm trying to think back to, I think it was the Mappy marquee that I did, where that's a big undertaking because there's 12 colors on that marquee, and it's a large marquee. So I'm the only one that made that because nobody wanted to spend that kind of money to screen print 12 colors on something that big. And this was definitely something with a pre-order piece. And there was a big discussion about correcting some of the items that were made incorrect. Like, it was something to do with the colors. Like, if you look at the bezel and the CPO, some of the characters, the colors were different on the marquee. So they were saying they were wrong. Can you correct them? And because I was doing a pre-order on this, it was a unanimous decision. Hey, correct these. So in this case, we did change it. It wasn't truly faithful to the original, but maybe we corrected the errors.
That's always one of the issues with this stuff. I know when the Nintendo reproduction buttons were done, I was part of that discussion, and there were so many fine details and small differences between actual different official Nintendo buttons. I finally backed out because I said, "There's no way I can make everybody happy." And so, I mean, hats off to what you do, because dealing with that level of detail is really phenomenal.
Right. So you backed away, and Mike Holland made those, correct?
Did an amazing job. So if you need those buttons, Mike's Arcade did a great job with them.
I've got a couple.
Yeah, Mike Holland at Mike's Arcade. Mike's been around a very long time. He's a great guy.
Yep.
Agreed. Hey, so I got a question on the from the chat. Dave from Buffalo, who, by the way, is the purveyor of all the fire escapes. That they all originate and come through Dave. He's asking if any. I think he's rhetorically asking this. He says, "Anybody want to reproduce the fire escape glass bezel?" He has a few guys he knows who wants better ones, and a lot of them are pretty flaky.
Interesting. That shouldn't be that difficult. If I were just, I could walk down to my arcade. I think it's just 2 colors for the flames. Am I incorrect? Or 3 colors: orange, red, and white, or just orange and red? I don't know.
Sounds right.
The marquee is really actually pretty interesting because the marquee wraps around and goes underneath.
Oh. That's weird.
Yeah, because mine's somewhat faded and it's not peeling, but it's not in the best condition. I said, maybe I'd selfishly reproduce this for myself. And I started looking, I'm like, wow, this wraps all the way underneath. So now we got a bend involved, and it's a bigger piece, so the cost just keeps going up every time I look at it.
Right.
I want to back up for a second.
Oh, Dave says he has a stack of new old stock marquees.
Oh, well, good for
He can
We're going to make a love connection tonight.
Thank you.
What's that?
He can send me one for Christmas. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you guys said, but that sounds awesome.
I said he can send me. He said he has a stack of NOS marquees, and I said he could send me one for Christmas. Thank you.
There you go, Dave. Send him an email. All right.
Hell of a guy. Thank you.
I want to back up for a second. How did you get into printing?
So I became I'm not big in the corporate world. I've always wanted to be self-employed, own my own business. I've been a business owner for almost 33 years. I was in the corporate world for almost 3 years. And my family, we moved to Arizona. And eBay had just started. And I had collected a lot of parts over the years because I started collecting in 1980. So eBay started, and I started selling off some of my parts. And they were going for a lot of money. I told my wife, I said, look, these games are going for good money, parts are going for good money. At some point, my NOS part stash was going to run out. So I just started selling, became a game seller full time. And my wife says, you got 6 months to figure this out. You're going to get a real job. And I said, I better get this thing going. So it took off, did really well. In 1999, started having some health issues. Moving these games around every day, several times a day, takes a toll on your back. I've got a bad back. And I thought, maybe I'd get in the parts business, and wasn't really sure what to do. And I was restoring a Robotron. And I had contacted a well-known vendor out there and said, hey, you make Robotron CPOs. Can you make some marquees? No, they're not going to sell. I said, Robotron's a really popular game. There's a lot of them out there. eBay's becoming bigger. These games are going to turn over. No, leave me alone. I just kept on them, and finally said, listen, if you think they're going to sell that well, go make them yourself. The rest is history.
So Robotron Marquee was the first thing you did?
It was the first one. Then I was doing a restoration for a celebrity of a scramble, and I could not find anything. It's a metal panel. The artist screened directly on the metal panel. So I decided to do a small run of those, and that was my second run. And it just took off from there.
It's funny how this stuff just kind of grabs you. You get the right niche, the right time, and the right attention, and things can just go.
Now, there's certainly a market for more vendors and parts, artwork, you name it. And recently, in the last 5 years, cabinets.
The reproduction. So do you do... cabinets have really taken off in the last, you're right, 3 to 5 years. Do you work with any cabinet makers on trying to coordinate that? Or, I mean, I've noticed a lot of them produce the cabinets without the artwork, or some of them are producing the cabinets, printing up some artwork. I've seen some great cabinets and some cabinets.
And that's the problem. I only want to work with the best, and I don't know who makes the best and the most accurate, because this is still so new, guys making cabinets.
Yeah, I mean, I know that, that comes and goes. There's a few guys that were well known for doing cabinets. One guy I know who just sold off his CNC did some great cabinets. It was very hard to get stuff out of. But the accuracy is one of the things that's I've noticed on the cabinets I've seen is it varies a lot, like the artwork. And it's hard to tell from the pictures until you actually see the product.
I totally agree. I mean, are you talking about Brett?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brett actually made my Atari football cabinet, and I think it was perfect.
It is. I mean, there's a lot of stuff there, but I have 4 or 5 cabinets he did, and man, they're original. They look exactly the way the other ones did.
Yeah, and now, someone like Scott Evans. Scott Evans is going to start making cabinets. Right now he's just making, multi-games and just selling them on the side, but I think he's going to be doing this maybe full-time. And he may also start doing some artwork as well. He's going to do the inkjet stuff, but he'll buy the screen-printed stuff from me.
That's great.
Nice. That's someone that I could definitely work with if he wanted to do any kind of partnership. I don't know, really what Scott's interested in, but I think everybody knows Scott Evans.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people that want to buy a CNC, but they have not pulled the trigger yet. And the accuracy is key.
Well,
You're right. There's a lot of
money. It takes up space, time.
Yeah, and really, if you have the source machine instead of some of these files that are out on the internet that are like wildly incorrect.
Well, and I think one of the things, I mean, I actually went down to Brett's house when he was assembling a few of these, and the care and time that was taken to actually match the original, I mean, perfectly down to disassembling, matching dowel spots, I mean, the detail. And I think this is one of the things that it shows. I mean, I own several sets of Darin's artwork, and the attention to the detail, it really makes it stand out from kind of like half-assed jobs. So the cabinets are one of those things where you have to get them right. And when you don't, they really aren't, they don't look like the original cabinet, and you lose that feel.
Right. Oh man, I guess I'm in the market for a quantum cabinet then. Jeez. All right. Well, put me down when that works out.
So Darin, what was the? You mentioned that you were going to bring a few games back into the collection after the players ones, kind of bide their time and the kids move on. What's the one game that's not in your collection that you wish was right now?
Oh boy, I'm actually kind of partial to Quantum. I really am. I know more valuable and rare game is Major Havoc in a dedicated form, but I really like Quantum.
Nice. Well, I have 2 unpopulated PCBs, so if I get hit by a truck, I'll let you know.
Okay, great.
I don't know why I'm saying that. Hey, do you have any heroes in the arcade community? Like, people that you look up to that you think, this guy's great.
Well, I Scott Evans.
Of course.
buying Atari's warehouse. Genius business move, and Scott wanted to preserve a lot of this stuff. Documentation, films, dies, you name it. He's, prototype games, which he still has, and he's gotten big offers for some of these games, including the Bradley Trainer. I know he got a big offer on that, which he turned down. In fact, I offered him a lot of money for Marble Madness 2, around, I think it was 2001, and he turned me down. And it was a smart move because in today's dollars, it would have been a steal for me.
That's funny because I was just talking to Ed Rotberg about the Bradley Trainer, and it would be kind of cool to reproduce them. I know that the board is a one of a kind kind of thing, but maybe somebody can FPGA it, and then there could be some Bradley Trainers out there. I don't know. Have you ever been able to play a Bradley Trainer?
No, Scott says his doesn't even work properly. And if you do some research on the Bradley Trainer, it doesn't seem like the military knew what they were doing with it either.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean,
but it's a big piece of arcade history.
And Ed Ed says that he and his team put in just months of work on that thing to redesign it. So.
Yeah, we may have to make Ed do some QA and get it running again.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool. They said they didn't let him drive the tank, though. Sad.
The real tank. They actually let them go into a real tank and check it out. Yeah. Interesting background.
So, I want to just thank you for the Atari football thing, because you did those panels for some reason. I don't know why, but there's a few of us out there that have them. They're fantastic. And when I got my panels and I installed them, they didn't quite work out. I haven't told anybody about this on the air before, but we had a little problem with them, and I called you, and you were fantastic. But I did it again. So
you said fantastic.
You were awesome. Giggity. So I called you up and you're like, "What's going on?" And I told you, well, these posts don't line up with the acrylics or the wood that spacers on the underside of the panel. And I sent you some pictures, and it turned out that your guys may have manufactured them incorrectly. So the turnaround time was amazing on that. By the way, I don't know how you did that, but they got them done really quickly. So maybe you'd like to share a little bit about how that works when something goes wrong and you have to get it fixed.
Well, usually, when there's artwork going on, I'm sent proofs. And I can approve a proof. Sometimes I'll get maybe a digital sample, which obviously is not going to look exactly like the screen printed version. And sometimes if it's a big run, like we actually, for example, the ice cold beer glass, we actually were screen printing samples because there was so much involved in the gold color in that. There's actual gold flakes in this color. So we wanted to get it right. When you're dealing with a metal piece, you just trust, the fabricator. And this is what they do all day long. So there's no need for them to send me a sample. They just said, piece of cake, no problem doing this panel. The panel showed up. I think I sold 6 sets right away. And I think the other 5 guys at least just sat on them and do anything with them. And then you contacted me. And, of course, I was shocked. And you sent me pictures. And I had to get back to you a couple of days later. I was under the weather. But first chance I got, I took a look at it on my machine and the pieces I had here, and lo and behold, they made a mistake. So immediately made a phone call and said, you guys made a mistake here. I don't think it was on purpose, but I already have some of these in customers' hands. And even though only one person got a hold of me, the other guys still have bad pieces.
Sure.
I think based on the amount of business that I do with them, that it was a quick turnaround time.
Wow, it was fast. It was like I want to say it was under like 45 days. And all of a sudden, they just showed up. Thanks, by the way. They just all of a sudden are on my front step.
Well, and as an observer,
ironically, the other 5 guys have still never contacted me to this day. And not even when they got replacement sets. I didn't even contact them and say, "Hey, by the way, don't put those on. We need to remake these."
That's weird.
I just shipped them new panels, and they still didn't contact me. Like, well, hey, why do I have a second set of panels here?
I hope they figure it out.
The number of
and then I was telling you the other day that so I wanted to recycle these, and it's metal, so
Yeah.
I loaded up my van.
And you had like 100 sets of these made, right?
Yeah. So I had 94 sets of panels.
Yeah.
So filled up my van, drove to the recycler, and round trip, and $30 in gas or whatever netted me $15. So I lost $15 to go recycle this stuff.
It's so bullshit.
But hey, it was good for the planet.
That is just bull. I mean, come on.
Okay, you just inspired me by that story. I just bought a Marble Madness marquee and then the side art control panel overlay combo. Trigger
The
pulled.
marquee will blow your mind, because the original is a translite, and I decided to screen these directly onto acrylic.
Nice.
And so this is going to shine. This is going to shine. Should I say fantastically?
Oh, that's great.
It's funny that this metal fab story that you're telling, because I had some Atari cocktail coin boxes fabricated, and they completely blew it and put the they put the lock hole in the wrong place, and they also like got the welds wrong, and oh my gosh, when you have to send something back, you're like, ah. Luckily they did the right thing and admitted their mistake, because they documented it incorrectly. But
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, back in 2000, I think it was 2000, when I did Bowtie Williams artwork and the metal panels as well. And that's an interesting panel with all those standoffs. And they got that wrong. This was a different fabricator. They shipped it from Seattle, Washington to my home in Phoenix, hence the name Phoenix Arcade. And the posts were in the wrong spots. And I go to line it up in my pants. Oh, this is wrong. And I said, thank God this is that 30. They don't have to pay this invoice yet, because I don't even know this company. It was referred to by somebody else. So I called them and took pictures and sent them everything. They end up rerunning them and giving me double the order for free. So I ordered 100. They sent me another 100 for free.
That's
wow.
Awesome.
What'd you do with the other 100? I guess you drove that $30 gas trip again, or?
Yeah, I did recycle those. I don't remember. The recycler was pretty close to my home, so that was not a big deal for that.
Nice.
I'll tell you, I own one of those original Phoenix Arcade Multi-Williams panels, and when I was doing my Multi-Williams, I sat around and watched for that forever. I don't think they were available at the time. So saw one come up on KLOV and snagged that quickly. That's an amazing panel. That's by far my favorite Multi-Williams setup.
I'll have to check that out. I think I just have the arcade.
Yeah, thank you. I think I've sold... Now, back in the day when Clay's Multi-Williams kit first came out,
yep.
Yeah, I don't believe it was actually his design. I think he borrowed the design from somebody. It's different than the J-Rock. Everybody says the J-Rock is better and it plays better. I agree with you. But Clay was the original guy to actually release a board. It was an add-on kit to a Robotron or a Joust board. And I think I sold well over 1,000 panels for sure. Easily.
Wow.
Yeah, there were a number of different setups, and actually yours just was kind of the best combination. I thought yours was the best combination of artwork. There's still some available, but it just the setup, the colors, the layout, everything was clear. You paid a lot of attention to what was going on and understood the games people were going to play on there.
Well, this is a group effort between a bunch of local collectors in Phoenix that I knew at the time. I wanted to get it right, so I got everybody together, and everybody that knew the different games better than I. I know Stargate better than you, and I know how Splat plays, and it was a collective effort, and they were willing to put the time in because they wanted a good product, as well because they were going to buy this. So I really can't take much credit for it other than spending the money.
It's awesome. I'm not gonna.
It's awesome. Fantastic. Oh my gosh, there's so much cool. I'm on phoenixarcade.com and I'm like seeing all of these combo things that you can put in the cart at the same time. I love it.
You're using my Tron. Actually, you're using Mark's Tron as your feature photo for your translate. Or
let me look at my Tron. Yeah.
So
I bought Adam's restored Tron and I baby it here.
Yeah, I took that picture. You took it from Clav, so I'm happy to contribute to your.
Which picture did I?
It's the one with the joystick that shows a little bit of the gameplay, and then it has a really nice picture of the acrylics lit up by.
The upper and lower control panel plastic. It's the second photo.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Looks really good.
Maybe someone sent that to me. I don't like to steal photos.
I put it on Clav, so it's.
Okay. Adam's proud of it that it's on.
I'm
your
very
site,
proud that it's on there.
Leave it there.
It's Mark's now, though, so it's really Mark's machine.
I'm proud too.
Yeah. Do I need to credit this or
No.
No, I'm getting credit right now.
Okay, fantastic.
And this is the.
Because I have my own restored Tron, I can go back and reshoot photos.
This is the second. I have two. I've had 3 Trons. One is a cocktail. Mark has the other one, and I have one more that has all of the artwork queued up and ready to be put on that I bought from you. The only thing I'm not sure if I have is a translate. I might not have the translate, so gotta double check.
I'm actually trying to resist buying that Tron package right now. I've got another one in the hopper.
Don't resist. It's beautiful.
No, I clearly. I mean, it has. I'll admit it. It has someone else did a partial restore, used some art from somewhere else. None of it has the fluorescence. So
none of it fluoresces.
Right. So it looks terrible. You put the lights on and you're expecting this like big pop from the machine to see everything, and it just doesn't have the feel. So I'm literally taking the artwork that was put on about a year ago off, and I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. And Park say, I'm getting yelled at enough at home for some of the arcade purchases lately. I got to slow down a little bit. It's coming though.
You know, if you didn't buy that high speed, you could have spent it on Tron.
That is true, but I have a very nice high speed now.
Yeah, I think all you have to do is, show off the pictures of what a full restore looks like, all lit up, and it's a no-brainer after that.
Well, that's it. It's clearly the better machine after the restore. The only problem is there's another restored Tron sitting a couple rows down.
So you're obviously proud of your Tron. You're proud of your Tron artwork. What is your second favorite artwork that you've made for games?
Well, actually, I would say, Ice Cold Beer Glass was really tough. We went through probably, and I'm not exaggerating, at least 20 different sample screen printed versions until we got it right. So I was driving, luckily the supplier's not far from me. It's about a 45-minute drive. So I was making constant trips. We tweak it, I drive back, they tweak it again, drive back. And that was really a labor of love. And that's also the same supplier that did the Asteroids Deluxe 3D background fluorescent. I don't know if you guys checked that out yet. That's an amazing piece to recreate.
I know a guy that's looking to recreate some fluorescent background for an OR.
Those cockpits need to be done.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that background for the Asteroids Deluxe on my website?
It's phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
It is. It's brighter than bright.
I will admit, I looked at it. I was going to buy it, and I was somewhat disappointed that the asteroids I had purchased had such a nice background. I didn't have a chance to get yours. But yeah, it's amazing.
Well, here's one thing that I'll say. A lot of people don't think their artwork is faded until I tell them certain things to look like. For example, the pinball machine. Take off the legs. and look what's underneath the legs. Oh my gosh, it really is faded. Because at one time I had a bunch of licensing for pinball artwork, and I'm selling a ton of pinball artwork for games, and people say, "Oh, can you just sell me the front, the front panel, or can you sell me just the back box? The sides are great." And I said, "Pull off the legs and take a look." They pull off the legs. Oh my gosh, I'll buy the whole set. And what I would say to you on the Asteroids Deluxe background that you have, pull off one of the ships. Behind the ships is some artwork that never got to see any of the light, and you'll see how bright that is compared to the rest of your artwork. I think you'll see that it's faded.
The fluorescence.
It's 36 years old. It's going to be faded.
Right. The fluorescents actually go quite quickly with the light too. So, like, I noticed distinctly on the Omega Race cockpits, even mine's in great shape, but at the top where it never saw the light, it's a completely different color set. The same thing happens with, I have a Warrior, and the fireplaces are just not nearly what the top, anywhere that's blocked looks phenomenal.
Luckily for me, some of these spots that were blocked, that's how we were able to recreate these colors.
You get your colors.
If it wasn't for that, we would be guessing.
I think so. I've got 2 deluxe machines that showed up at my place. One of them I honestly don't think was turned on for more than maybe 10, 15 hours. The other one has some good fade, but it's one of those machines you find and wonder where it went for the last 30 years. It was like sitting in the back of somebody's closet. They pulled it out one day and said, "Oh my gosh, that's there."
Right. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm going to have to hound you about some Omega Race cockpit art, though, because even my machine that has the art in there looks good. I have 2 cockpits. One doesn't have the art at all. And the one that has the art, it's just completely faded. I moved the piece around so I could see the old-style artwork that was blocked off from the inside of the cockpit. And, I got to do art.
Isn't that trouble, Darin, with some of this stuff, though, that you need quantity to do it? Like, how many OR cockpits are there, really?
Yeah, there's probably not. I don't know the production numbers. Maybe someone else really knows. So before I continue, I have to give a shout out to my daughter, Amanda, who's allowing me to stay on tonight. I was going to spend some time with her.
Sure.
She's going to go to bed, and she allowed me to stay on with you guys.
Aww.
So I know she was listening on her iPad, and so I'm going to give a shout out to my 13-year-old daughter, Amanda.
Well, thanks, Amanda.
Amanda, you rule.
We love you.
Sorry,
thanks for listening.
Earlier.
I did not say bullshit. Sorry.
I don't think. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So does anybody know the quality of Omega Race cockpits? Is it 10? Is it 5?
Well, 6.
I know.
I think I have a third of them.
See, I only know of 3 or 4 in existence. That's the problem, right? So if you have like 20 of them, let's just say 20, is that enough to do one?
Well, I think you could do one if you needed to, but it's going to cost you a fortune.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
It's all in what you're willing to pay. So if someone says, "Hey, can you make me one of these?" I'm like, "Well, how much are you willing to pay?"
And the problem, correct me if I'm...
You don't really want to have that conversation anyway because it's just so expensive. You don't want to entertain that. It's just like, custom. My standard response is, because we screen print, custom work is it's outrageously expensive, and it's probably better that we don't have this discussion because they'll probably get upset. Oh, how could you charge that amount of money?
Yeah. Well, but I mean, that's why. So just like molding and other things, once you create the tools, you make up the cost by doing a lot of quantity to bring the volume up and bring the cost down, spread out over the products. But if you don't have that quantity, you've got to pay for that tooling, that screening, and the work that goes into it. That's a lot of money. I mean, what a lot of people don't realize is that when these games were done back in the days, it was such a large quantity, you do huge runs and displace that cost out amongst thousands of machines instead of hundreds or 50 or... And so it makes complete sense that it's not reasonable to screen print one-offs. And correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know a lot about printing, but fluorescents really, they're doing some work with it, but really screen printing is the way fluorescents are done well.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now it's the only way you can print fluorescent is through screening. I'm not aware of any inkjet process that's fluorescent.
Yeah, I don't know where you get the ink.
Well, that's where, how are you going to mix inks? Just the inkjet process, how they mix inks.
Wow. And phosphorescent ink is so beautiful. It's really weird to me, like, these are just weird observations, but the Tron cocktail has phosphorescent ink on its overlays. There's no black lights.
Mine has black lights.
Mine had black lights too, but they didn't come with them.
I was like, mine does too.
Oh, wait. I think I was the first person to stick them in. I got them from super bright LEDs before all these Comet places and everything opened up. But I was super stoked when I could light them up. And then, for some reason, the Asteroids Deluxe cocktail manual comes printed in phosphorescent ink. Why?
That's cool.
It's like you can look at it in the black light, but okay, it's great. It's very odd. It's like they kind of wonder if at the factory they're like, well, there's got to be a way to make this more exciting.
Well,
or maybe they did plan to put black lights in the Tron cocktail and they just couldn't afford it. I don't know.
Or they were just using the inks from the upright CPO.
Sure, because it was easy and they were already mixed, right? So screen everything.
They already
the
had
same
it,
way.
yeah. So getting back to these, for example, the Mega Race cockpit, I'm in kind of a situation right now with EDOTs. There's been a small group of people have asked me to screen print EDOT site art. That's a big undertaking, really big undertaking. It's close to $20,000 to do a very small run of it. And just to get it done, we're looking at $800 for a set screening. And typically, if something costs me $50 to make, I sell it for $100. I try and double it.
Just so the listeners know, the EDOT is the Environmental Discs of Tron. So
it's a very large game, very rare, very valuable. It's really big art. It's not crazy hard to do, but it's so big it takes 2 people on a press to do each piece, and there's 4 pieces. And that really skyrockets the cost. So you have, I don't know, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, 24 pieces of film. So when you screen print something, you have to output film. And that film is used to burn the image on a screen, hence a silk screen. So you need to have 1 piece of film and 1 screen for every color.
Wow.
So I think we're at a total of 24 pieces of film and 24 screens.
That is
2
a
people
lot.
doing it, one color at a time.
That is a
which is
lot.
I think the film alone is, I could be wrong, but I think it's $4,400 just for the film.
So you do a lot of this, right? You do the screening yourself?
No, gosh, no. I leave it to the professionals.
Okay.
I don't have the equipment. There's even guys in the hobby. There's a couple guys that do their own screening, but they don't have the large presses like this. And even if they did, it requires a second person. The guy that made an inkjet version of this, he also does some screen printing. He purposely passed on it for several reasons. Cost. I'm not so sure he could do that good of a job with it, in my opinion. and it requires a second person. And I don't think he has a second person working for him that has screen printing experience.
Huh.
So I'm trying to use the company that did this Asteroids background 3D, that did the ice cold beer glasses, and did work for original Bally Midway back in the day. So they've been around for a long time.
Wow.
I trust them. But the problem is, I only have right now 2 people lined up to do a pre-order, and I'd like at a bare minimum 10, and that doesn't even come 1/3 of the way of covering my cost. But I'm just not going to spend $20,000 just to help out a couple guys. I'm sorry, you guys are great, but I just can't do it.
Sure. Yeah. I know Steve at Grinkers has one that's really nice. So Scott, you and Scott must have worked together on a few Atari projects because he had all these films.
Scott was great. Anytime I wanted films, I would send Scott, my wish list. Scott he had at least one container, maybe two containers of everything that he got from Atari. Just big, but it wasn't well organized from Atari, so it would take him, all afternoon to find what I was looking for. But one time he did archive everything that he had. It just wasn't laid out and organized. Sure. So Scott was, really good to me.
For example, Star Wars side art, you did that, right?
I did.
And there's two separate sets of films for that.
The other set has never been found.
Okay.
So the only set that was available, he sent to me.
Okay.
And that's the one that matches the flyer, but it's not necessarily the more common version.
Interesting. So is that the one with the TIE fighter that's slightly off kilter? Top?
I believe the original, or the more common version, is the TIE fighter outside of the artwork.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, there was some controversy when that first came out. If there were films available at that time, I think we could have modified it where we could have done both at the same time and let customers have their choice.
Mm-hmm.
So,
have you ever talked to Tim Lapatino at all? He made an Art of Atari book, mostly console stuff, but I think he got a little bit into the arcade stuff. But he had a lot of access to Atari libraries as well, and that must be just fascinating, to see all that artwork that was around 40 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yeah, one time, I mentioned I had some pinball licensing with a company that I don't want to mention that is bankrupt now. But I had access to all the Bally and Williams pinball films as well.
Interesting.
So I was in this warehouse, and I literally spent 2 days archiving everything and organizing everything, kind of like a library.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I was able to produce so much pinball stuff so fast in a matter of 3 years. It's unbelievable how much stuff was put out in a 3-year span.
So is printing your primary source of income for you, or do you have another job, or?
I own 3 pizza restaurants.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
I want to go to your pizza restaurant.
Yeah, I want some pizza. Are there any arcade games?
But I don't think anybody cares about that. I think all they care about is, arcade stuff.
Well, yeah.
I got my joust from a guy that had it in his pizzeria in the 80s and sold it off to me about 6 years ago. So that's kind of a fun story.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's nice.
Do you do stencils?
At one time I did stencils, and I think I started stencils in 2001, 2002. I did a Moon Patrol stencil. I did a Defender stencil. I did a Pac-Man stencil and a Miss Pac stencil. And people just aren't good at stenciling, and they blame it on you. I would sell these stencils, and they did a bad job, and it's my fault because they can't paint. I'm sorry.
Sure. So they
not,
want
the
you to
stencil,
give
not the stencil's fault.
So then they want you to send you a new sets of stencils and.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. I think back then, we sold a set of stencils for $100. I think I made $20.
Wow.
It was really more so to satisfy the people that asked for them. And then at one time, I even made a reusable Defender and Miss Pac stencil. And we would loan this out, and then people would send it back. And somebody didn't send me the Defender back. So I said I'm no longer loaning out the Miss Pac-Man unless I know them personally.
Sure.
Ooh. Hey, buddy. I'm order number 3,000, by the way. Looks like you finally cracked the 3,000.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Did you just place an order while we were on the show?
I did. I'm order number 3,000. I'm like stoked now.
Ah, that's hilarious.
I spent money during the show.
Very
great.
cool. Well, if you guys want to hear some of the projects I'm working on right now,
Do it.
Great.
that'd
That'd be a good way to round out.
I did the 3D background for Asteroids Deluxe. Now I'm working on the 3D cardboard monitor surround, which is different. It's pretty plain, but it's still 3D and it's fluorescent. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that piece at all.
Darin, are you
kind of working? Yes.
Are you considering adding a little extension for the anti-glare bezels on those?
You're talking the actual bezel itself, where I'm discussing the cardboard monitor surround. Are we on the same page?
We are. So when you so I was assuming you're meaning the piece that goes inside. There's it's a star field, correct?
Correct.
And so when you switch out to the from the regular, if you have an anti-glare model, there's a triangle of just black at the edge of the monitor where it kind of comes forward. It's interesting. I never noticed it, and it showed up on two machines, and one of them was scratched to hell. But then you kind of see these stars, and then right at the edge, nothing. But
now, being that I don't personally own the game currently, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
How's that one going? So is that something that you? I'm assuming those stars, like you were saying before, they're fluorescent, so they're fading out, and you're going back and finding some of the original inks and colors.
Yeah, this one's a little more tricky. A lot of this stuff is tricky when you're reproducing. It's a lot easier to create something new than to reproduce something. So we're still in the recreation phase, and this is going to take a little longer than what I originally planned. I was hoping to have these out by Christmas, but we still don't have all the matches that we're looking for. And the person that was supposed to send me the sample didn't get it to me until 2 weeks ago, when I was supposed to have it, maybe 2 months ago. But I'm not complaining, because I love it when people are willing to loan me pieces to make things happen. Another project that I'm working on is a proper screen printed Donkey Kong bezel with a proper thickness that's 3/16, not the 1/8 inch that's floating around out there that everybody makes. I've been approached by a couple retailers that sell a lot of this stuff. I even put maybe not a poll, just an interest list out on my Facebook page, and immediately I got tons of interest, a bunch of private messages. So okay, I'm going to go ahead and make this. You can make the thinner bezel work with spacers, and it's okay, because I know acrylic is getting really expensive. It's approaching glass prices now, and anytime you add any type of size, thickness, length, width, whatever, you're adding a lot of cost. And adding that extra 1/8 of an inch on this bezel is almost doubles the cost. So I can understand why nobody wanted to make it 3/16 when they can just use a spacer. But when you use the spacer, there's flex in that bezel in the center if someone touches it. Mm-hmm. So I'm making these. I'm going to make a pretty big run. So those will be ready in about 8 weeks. I just got the sample in on that one.
That's totally rad.
What else? As I mentioned before, the timber glass marquee.
Nice.
To go with the bezel and the CPO I already sell. Here's a good one.
I just need a timber to go with it.
You rare collectors. The Wacko glass bezel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That can't be done digitally, because if you're familiar with the game at all, or at least the artwork on the bezel,
yep.
There's a red on there that is actually fluorescent. It's not photoreactive, but it's a mix of fluorescent red and a couple other colors to get to this color. So I feel pretty confident I won't have any good competitors in the inkjet world on this copying it.
Nice. That's
and the glass cost, because of its shape, is pretty expensive. The funky Wacko shape.
Yeah.
So Kubert Cubes artwork. I'm in the process of making with this the J-Rock board out there. I'm in the process of making the Kubert Cubes bezel. The original was done on cardboard as an insert. I'm screening it on glass. I'm also doing the glass marquee. There's a sticker on the glass marquee rather than just screening it. I'm actually making the sticker separate. It's a license sticker, and I'm going to have them numbered sequentially.
Oh,
so
cool.
everybody will have a different number.
Cool.
And I'll also be making the upper and lower CPOs for Cubert cubes. So I already know several people are going to be building brand new Cubert's cubes with this artwork.
That's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Something I think that's pretty cool is I'm going to be making the Disc of Tron and the environmental Disc of Tron glass bezel pieces. And as a bonus, I'm going to be selling these at cost.
What?
Just to help these guys out. And they're going to freak when they see.
Wow.
I'm not doing a big run. I'm only doing 50.
I might buy one just to have it on the wall.
I'm going to sell these at cost.
Yeah, I'm gonna put one in a frame and hang it on the wall.
Yeah, there's no artwork on this page. It's a pretty simple piece. I'm not sure that's worthy of hanging.
Oh, now interest is going. Continue.
Yeah. So yeah, there's two pieces for Discotron and two for the environmental version. Like I said, I'm making 50 of those. I'm going to sell them at cost.
That's great.
Wow.
One way of giving back to the community.
Wow. So far, I've been impressed with what you've given to the community in the first place, but appreciate knowing all the new products. Why don't you tell us where your website is and how we can get there, and how can we pay, and do you have a Facebook page and all that stuff?
I paid with PayPal. It's super easy.
Yeah, Facebook page, Phoenix Arcade, the website, phoenixarcade.com. That was designed by Scott Goldsmith, recent friend of mine, longtime customer, became recent friends, great guy. He designs websites for a living, e-commerce stuff.
Your website
my website was old and dated, and Scott, everybody was in my ear last several years. You need to update your website, and I said, hey, people are still buying stuff. I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
I don't believe it helped. I don't believe it helped my sales, but it certainly made it look more presentable and easier to navigate. So Scott did a great job.
That's great.
I really appreciate that. He's become a good friend of mine.
Great. That's good. So, any last words? Any advice for any of us that are looking to get good art?
Don't edge into his business. He's doing a good job. What are you trying to say?
Well, I do know some guys in the arcade world. If you guys need some guests, let me know. I think I can help you out. I think if I can make a suggestion is Jerry Buckner, for sure.
Yeah, we had him on last season.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, Jerry's great.
He was fantastic.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, no, he was great. A voice actor, of course, Pac-Man Fever, and he's got a T-shirt for sale right now, by the way. It says "Still Got the Fever," so go check that out. But yeah, he's a good guy. Love him.
Yeah, I contacted him on Facebook. I requested him to be friends, and he said, "Who are you?" And I just told him who I was in Phoenix Arcade, and we struck up a long conversation. And then I said, by the way, can I borrow your music and play it on my website? And he said, absolutely. So he allowed me to put the whole album on my website.
That's great.
And that caused kind of a problem because guys were listening, or guys would go to my website at work, and next thing you know, it just starts in a loop. Starts with Pac-Man Fever and goes all the way down. But it goes, it starts with the Pac-Man theme, and then it just starts going. And then people have to hurry up and turn the music down at work. So guys said, "Hey, can you just turn that off on auto?" So now you actually have to press play on my website if you want to hear.
That's good. That's good.
That music.
Well, stick around after we do our closing credits here. We'll like to talk to you for a minute or two just to close out, but I want to thank you for being on the show. It's been an honor to have you here with us.
That was great talking to you guys. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, we love having a variety of guests, and it's so cool for us to be able to have people that are in the industry making stuff, being creative and being so exacting about their standards. And people like Jerry too, who are creative, but it's we like to focus on different aspects. So having people that are in the helping us restore these games, the way you do and the way you're so meticulous about everything, it's really a pleasure. So I'm sincere when I say it's been great having you on the show. Plus, I don't intend to stop buying stuff from you. So.
Exactly. Aaron Sanders in the chat says, "We love all your stuff, Darin. Your commitment to quality and customer service is 100%." Aaron Sanders.
Aaron is great. He's a good customer. I really appreciate him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he gave you some monies this year.
And I think we'll all continue to as well. So
yes.
This has been this is the part where we what do we do here, Mark?
We go to the last page of our show notes and then we read stuff about how the show's ending.
Oh, okay. So let's do that. Okay. So, all right. So, you want to do this part? Go ahead.
Well, I put your name next to it.
Okay, I'll do that. So, are you tired of LCD panels messing up your duck hunt game? I know I am. Jeff Keecher, the inventor of a project called Modern Mallard, will be on 12/27. That's 2 weeks from today. And Brian McLeod Armitage will be back on the show as one of our hosts.
Nice. Hey, thanks again for listening in to the Double R's. That's Arcade Radio.
Facebook Arcade Radio or arcaderadio.com, RCADERADIO.com.
And you can always call and leave us comments and questions on the game line, 612-548-GAME.
Please call us.
Because Zarzadek, he'll call.
Yeah, what? Somebody else needs to call.
I know.
And if you're not calling, follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Arcade Radio, and Twitter, twitter.com/Arcade Radio.
And subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's just one click.
iTunes, Google Play Music, and SoundCloud are also available for subscription. So.
Oh, look, I get to say the last thing.
Go for it, man.
Well, that's going to